You ready?
I was born ready, Mr. Shelby. Hit it.
Welcome to This Time with TIFF Edition. I am joined by Mr. Daniel and Mr. Shay.
Hello.
Today's episode is going to be all about TIFF and our reviews of the movies that we watched in the past 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this review specifically is going to be about Ford versus Ferrari.
Ford versus Ferrari.
Or if you're listening or watching this in Europe, Le Mans 65? Is it called?
66.
66. That's it.
65
Actually-
was 1 year before they lost.
It's true.
Yeah. I like that. I was telling you guys I like that title.
We'll get into it.
Yeah.
So this movie's directed by James Mangold. He's coming right off of Logan. It was his last film. You'll know him from other movies like
310 to Yuma.
310 to Yuma, Walk the Line, Copland, Night and Day.
The Wolverine.
The Wolverine as well
Wolverine.
too.
Yep.
And now he's back with Matt Damon, Christian Bale, John Bernthal,
Noah Jupe.
Noah Yuppe.
Noah Jupe.
Yeah. So what's this movie about? I'm going to kick it over to you guys.
So we got the story of Ford versus Ferrari. So what's happened is Ferrari's taken place as we'll say,
Premier
the pedigree
racing,
of racing. Ford's trying to find their,
Entry into
that.
Right.
And they hire Mr. Carroll Shelby, played by Matt Damon, to head that relationship. And Matt Damon's character, Carroll Shelby, hires Christian Bale, and his name is Ken Miles.
Ken Miles.
Who's a race car driver. And they design the Ford GT, the car that's supposed to beat, or wanted to beat, Ferrari.
So what I really loved about this movie is that it just doesn't start with the race or anything like that. You get to learn a lot about who these characters are. I also love that you like this movie is set up as like the rivalry of Ford versus Ferrari. Ferrari is more of like a background looming presence because like the whole inspiration of them is to beat them.
Yes.
But I just love the scenes with like John Bernthal as Lee Iacocca, like trying to go over there to find like a partnership and like seeing like the backstabbing and everything like that was done. It's like the performance in this film are phenomenal.
Very good.
No matter how big or small the role is, everyone is coming like to play in this movie.
Each person brings it. And what's funny about it, what you're just saying there, Daniel, is that the film is really a big magnifying glass on Ford and its operations at that time, kind of really showing some of the incompetence that might have been occurring and basically how a big conglomerate like that was working. Like they really didn't care about winning. It was more like just shoving it in Ferrari's face.
Mass production of cars.
And then you see the difference of that when you go to the Ferrari, manufacturing plant, and it's like one person's working on one part of the car at a time. It's crazy. It's crazy to see that. So enter Ken Miles, who is a race car driver, and I guess this movie really starts to kick off when Carroll Shelby comes up to him and saying like, "Hey, help us beat Ferrari."
Yeah.
And this movie's kind of their journey of building that car and getting to Le Mans. And I don't think it's an easy task of having one trying to beat Ferrari, but two as well, like the Le Mans is a 24-hour race, and we have a few races in here because Daytona as well too is 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
And like we have a few of these races, so it's like this movie kept its pace up, like no pun intended, throughout this entire film, including like multiple different races as well that are so long. So I thought that was really impressive.
I think there's 3 major races in this movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so well paced, so well edited. It didn't feel long or drawn out. It was just the right amount of story you need to kind of get this story across.
Right.
You got enough character development. Everyone had enough screen time. You showed the car, and you have this Le Mans race, which is beautiful, so well shot.
Yeah.
Like this is probably my best picture.
Yeah.
For 2019.
Really? That's awesome. Yeah.
It was such an intense film. Every ride, every race, you could feel the engine like just pumping in the theater. I remember just on the edge of my seat, still not knowing what was going to happen, even though I'm sure everything was going to turn out okay.
Right.
But yeah, it was just a great time. Every actor brings it exactly like that.
Sound design, like again, another great film that we saw with such amazing sound design, like Sound of Metal being another one. Hearing just the roaring of the engine, seeing like the camera work between the cars, and it spends a lot of time inside the cars as well too, which I really loved. And just loving the banter between Christian Bale and Matt Damon. Like their
chemistry was phenomenal.
So good. Good. It's one of those movies that when it ended, it didn't feel like 2.5 hours.
No.
I just wanted it to keep going, and this movie's coming out in November, and I'm like, man, we have to wait another 2 months to see this again.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to say it, and I think for our ratings, we'll go one by one here, but let's start with Anthony.
A must watch.
It's a must watch.
Must watch. Yeah. Definitely must watch. Guys.
Yeah. It's probably my top 3 of this year, I'd say. So it's definitely a must watch. I'm gonna watch it.
100% watch it for me as well too. This is a movie definitely to see on the big screen. Watch it in AVX or IMAX or Dolby, whatever you have theater close to you, because this movie deserves the best picture and sound possible. So I guess that was our first review of the day so far. Ford vs Ferrari. We'll be back with more reviews, so stick it right here on YouTube, Instagram TV. Stick it right here and bring it back. Right? Podcast services will have all our reviews on there for you to enjoy. So that was this time,
and we'll see you next.